Hello everyone, welcome back to G&J Exploring. In today's video we fly from London up to Tromso in the north of Norway. Arriving in Tromso we get very lucky and see the northern lights over the seafront. The next day we head into the city centre and walk around looking at the sights and spending some time in nice warm cafes sheltering from the cold. That evening we go on a Northern Lights tour with the Ami Hotel and we spend several hours hunting down the Northern Lights, sitting round campfires and having an excellent time. The next day we wake up late after our Northern Lights tour and head to Telegraph Bay at the south of Tromso Island to look at the wonderful view out across the sea. We hope you enjoy this video and on with the show. It's a new day in December and Juliet and I are back at Luton Airport. You can see the very fire damaged car park over there. They had a fire a couple of months ago here. And we're going to be heading on a bus to the airport shortly. And we're going to be flying to Tromso. We're already getting a taste of the weather because it's pretty chilly right now here in the airport. So we're debating if we bought enough cold weather gear for the trip. But soon enough we'll be in the airport and heading over to Tromso. We've now reached the aeroplane. Didn't do much in the airport, but we're out here now and it is very nice and rainy and very cold. Probably a good taste of what's to come when we reach Norway in about 4 hours time. We have got off the plane. We're now in Tromso. We saw the Northern Lights on the way over, although they were quite dim, so the videos were pretty rubbish, so we won't be showing them. But yeah, we're now walking through Tromso and it is very nice and very snowy. And we're going to go to the hotel now and then head to the front of the fjord, which is quite near where we are staying. We are now out the airport. There is snow on the ground. It's not quite as cold as I'd feared. It's cold, but not too bad. And we're now just waiting for a taxi, which will hopefully be here quite soon. Had to wait in baggage reclaim for about half an hour though, so you may want to be cautious of waiting there, but otherwise reasonably smooth. And we're now going to head to our Airbnb, which is somewhere over there. So we are now at the fjord. I think it's a fjord here. We've got Juliet next to some very interesting sculptures, and if I make my way through the snow, hopefully not getting too much snow down my boots, because I am a little bit concerned about getting wet shoes. We should get to the fjord and it looks very nice. So just to the left at the top of the hill you'll be able to see the cable car station. We'll be going to the cable car in a couple of days. But yeah, got this great view of the town around us and the fjord there in front of us. We've now walked further along the harbour here in Tromso, and over the hill in front of us there is incredibly impressive Northern Lights. I'll probably have to splice a picture in because I really don't think you'll be seeing anything on the GoPro. But we have had a wonderful view of the Northern Lights. Got some lovely photographs because luckily there's somebody else here. And the lady we were talking to says she's been here 4 years and she's never seen it so clear in the town. So that's definitely something, and you really could see it clearly. It was obviously a lot better through a camera because you can do a longer exposure, but you really could see it clearly with your naked eye. It's more like a sort of a cloud than, you know, things you'll see in the photographs. The photographs are very the long exposure definitely helped, but you might be able to see it in front of us, probably not. I might just try when I get to the end of this pier to do a sort of time-lapse thing and see if it shows up on that. But yeah, really impressive, and judging by what we've been told, we've been very lucky to see it within an hour of landing from the airport. So I'm now just walking back along the harbour. Juliet's gone off to find some food, so she's gone to a co-op which is just in the distance. But hopefully you've just seen a little bit of video I took of the Northern Lights, and it was very impressive. The video actually does it quite decent justice, which is good. But unless I feel very bothered, I might come out here in a little bit, but otherwise we'll get back to you tomorrow. So it's a new day here in Tromso and we've come to the harbour again. Now we were having a debate about whether this is the sea or a fjord, but I'm going to go with fjord. Juliet thinks it's the sea, but nevertheless we are here. We're outside the theatre here in Tromso, which is just a big building in front of us, and basically we're on the outskirts of town. So yesterday we arrived at the airport, took a very interesting road to our Airbnb through the mountain. They've got a whole road network under the mountain behind the town, and yeah, today we are going to be heading into Tromso, which is about a 20-minute walk down the front in front of me, and later on we're going to be going on a Northern Lights tour. So we are now in Tromso, so we're already a bit further along from where we were, but we're starting to get into where the shops and the restaurants are. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning and this is about as bright as it gets. You've got a sort of twilight, but it's not too dark. When people say it's always night time, it might be technically, but there's definitely some light in the middle of the day. We've now reached the main harbour here in Tromso, and very pleasant it is. You've got the nice lights and you've got a few restaurants around. But we've now walked through the majority of the town, and slightly unsurprisingly there's not too much to see. I think lots of life here up in Norway because of the weather is done inside, so there's not too much on the outside to have a look at. So I think we're now going to go hunt down a coffee shop and have a think about what we want to do the rest of the day. We're now round the other side of the harbour, and spinning around we have these nice boats. We have a mountain in the distance which has a restaurant and a cable car going up to it, and we'll be going there in a couple of days, maybe tomorrow. And spinning around a bit more, we have this very nice bridge over the water, nice and high to let boats underneath, and there's a very interesting building just to the side which is a massive cathedral. And the hill there in the distance is the one we were seeing the Northern Lights over yesterday. Hopefully we'll see some Northern Lights later, but it is very cloudy. And now we're going to carry on walking around and find somewhere to go warm up in. We're now at the Polar Museum. We're not going to go in, but it is that building there. But looks like we've found an interesting selection of harpoons, all covered up, but quite clearly harpoons. So these things may have killed a couple of whales at some point. A little bit grisly, but we still have this very nice view out across the sea. So we've just come along the harbour wall a little bit from where we were. The wind has picked up and it's definitely a lot chillier in the wind, but if I spin round we have this very nice bridge that we may be walking across tomorrow. We have the cathedral over there. We have the restaurant with the cable car on it up at the top of that mountain there. And spinning round some more, we have the really nice view of the mountains with the sort of sun behind them. And spinning round even more, we have the town of Tromso there behind the harbour. So I found a map of Tromso, so we are staying over here, which is where we did the Northern Lights video yesterday. We walked past the museum and a ship, and we walked into town, and we walked round the front here, past the harbour, and then we ended up going all the way along here to get a nice view of the sun on the mountain. And now we're back here at the tourist information, and we're going to go have a snack around here. Now, I think the main thing we've not seen so far is the cathedral, which we'll be saving for a future day, and also the walk across the bridge to the other side and the other cathedral, and we think we'll be doing that tomorrow. It's around 6 o'clock and we are heading through the back streets of Tromso to our collection point for our Northern Lights tour. So we've paid about £150 each to go on a sort of a van tour into the wilderness, where the aim is you see some very good Northern Lights. Now the pressure is off just a little bit for us because we saw the Northern Lights yesterday, but even so we're hopeful we will see them because we have paid quite a lot of money. But we're going to get to the pickup point soon, and then we're going to start driving. So we will see what we find once we finish the drive. We have reached our tour destination, which is the Ami Hotel, and here is our bus in front of us. But there are already some northern lights in the sky right here where we're supposed to set off. So I'll do a bit of a video of them, and we'll be hitting the road now and going somewhere with no light pollution, where it will be even better. So we are here at the wilderness, and we're just in a bit of a lay-by on the side of the road, and we spent the last 4 hours looking at the northern lights. Now you're going to be able to see absolutely nothing right now, and I'm not sure how much northern lights I got on video here. We did get some at the hotel earlier back in Tromso, but it's a bit tricky here because with cars going past with their headlights and they were sort of washing it out, so I'm not sure what we'll be seeing, but we've had a very nice time. So how it works is you get in a van, and we're in like a small 8-seater van, and you come out here and you're in the snow and it's freezing cold, but you have the sky above you, pointing up at the sky now, you probably can't see anything, and they set up like a little camp, and you have the fire, and it's all very pleasant. So we have a fire here, and we've had some hot dogs and donuts here in the snow, and generally it's been very pleasant. But Juliet is cold, most of the people here are cold as well, so we'll be heading back to Tromso in a little bit. It's a new day here in Tromso, and it's a bit of a late start for us. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon right now, and basically we didn't get in until 2 o'clock this morning from the Northern Lights tour, so after sleeping for a bit and having some breakfast, it's a bit late for us to go up the cable car over there, which is our original plan. So we're actually heading away from Tromso town right now to a viewpoint looking out across the sea towards the mountains in the distance. So that's going to be our main activity for the day. But we're walking along this very nice path, and we're going to be heading to a museum where there's a nice cafe where we're going to have a hot chocolate. But from yesterday, we were looking at our photos this morning, and we saw a lot of very good northern lights yesterday. We would say the tour was pretty good. It was nice and relaxed, and we would recommend it. So we booked with the Ami Hotel, who are sort of they're a hotel obviously, but they're starting up a tour business as well, and it was a very good tour. So we're going to carry on walking along this snowy path, and hopefully the cafe is not too far in the distance. We've left the cafe and we're now heading through this snowy forest, which in warmer times is apparently a very nice park, and we're heading to the seafront. So we did talk to the tour guide yesterday, and she did confirm they do consider the water around here the sea and not a fjord, so that's good to know. But if we walk down here a bit more past the building site, which looks like it's building some toilets, we should get to a viewpoint. And apart from it being a little bit chilly, although not too bad if you're nicely wrapped up, it is very pleasant walking around Tromso. It's not too big a place, so you can definitely walk most of it. You don't need to be too scared of the cold. And everywhere you get wonderful views like this one we're about to see here. And there we go. Look at that wonderful view out across the little beach and sea here on the coast of Tromso. And here we have the amazing but very, very windy view out across the sea. And it really is quite spectacular. unsurprisingly, we've got to the further along the path, and we found some interesting history here about this area being used as a prisoner of war camp by the Germans in World War II. It's very interesting. I'll zoom in here so you can have a read if you wish. But yeah, it was used as a prisoner of war camp for undesirables just before they invaded the Soviet Union. Very interesting. Unfortunately, I won't be able to go and see it, but the battleship Tirpitz was sunk in that direction as well. Now, unfortunately, Juliet won't let me go because she says it's not worth the trip, and she's probably right, but it is over there. And one last time, we will have a look at the wonderful view. Very, very pretty. And we'll walk round to over here where we have these sort of the lights of the buildings, which make it look very, very Christmassy, I'd say, with the snow all around. So if I walk over to this point, and one last time, we will do a spin around. So that is probably it for the day. Not a very big day for us today. We're now going to go back to the house and have a little bit of a sit down day, a nice relaxing day. But we do have wonderful views from today, even if we've been only out and about for an hour or so.